Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, Hare Krishna, we are going to continue from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 6. Today is text 9. Does anyone remember any main point from yesterday?
Krishna?
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
you can say it. Neha?
Okay.
Yes,
You
Neha,
can
you can say. Yeah, you can say, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yeah, yesterday we had read that God Krishna, that Krishna is the center of love for everyone, and we have to revive our eternal relationship with God, with Krishna. We have forgotten our relationship with God. So this is the reason that why we are we have fallen in the pangs of material misery. And so, as what Krishna says, the peace formula, Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam. So, we have to, therefore, the duty of everyone is to engage in the loving service of the Lord. We need our real education, and our real education is our spiritual, eternal education. In the material world, it is what we are learning is about a material education, but we are all in need of this real education, our spiritual eternal education, that is to engage in the loving service of the Lord.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we need to revive our relationship with Krishna. Thank you. So going on, ko griheshu puman saktam
Bhuveshu Puman
Sattam
atmanam ajitendriya
Atmanam
Atmanam
Ajitendriya
sneha pasher tridher baddham
Sneha Pashe Baddam
utsaheta vimochitam.
Utsaheta
Utsaheta
Vimochitam.
Vimochitam.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. What person? Too attached to household life due to being unable to control his senses can liberate himself. An attached householder is bound very strongly by ropes of affection for his family, wife, children, and other relatives. Prahlāda Mahārāja's first proposal was Kaumara Acharet Pragyo Dharman Bhagavatan Iha. One who is sufficiently intelligent should use the human form of body from the very beginning of life. In other words, from the tender age of childhood to practice the activities of devotional service, giving up all other engagement. So we can see that engaging in devotional service is a matter of intelligence. Those who are intelligent actually take up devotional service, because the popular belief is, oh, you're good for nothing, you don't have anything, that's why you're engaging in devotional service. But that's not the fact. The fact is those who are actually intelligent are taking up devotional service. And the more one is intelligent, the more one is taking up devotional service. As we just heard, goal of life is to revive relationship with Krishna. So the more we want to revive this relationship, the more we will engage in devotional service. Dharman Bhagavatam means the religious principle of reviving our relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah, Prabhupada is saying this. For this purpose, Krishna personally advises Sarva Dharman Parityagya Mamekam Sharanam Braja. Give up all other duties and surrender unto me. Krishna is saying this. Give up all other duties and surrender unto me. While in the material world, we manufacture so many duties in the name of so many isms. But our actual duty is to free ourselves from the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. So one may take it wrongly. Krishna is saying, abandon everything and surrender to me. But Krishna is not saying to act irresponsibly. Whatever responsibilities have been given to us by Krishna, we fulfill them with complete surrender to Krishna. Just as Krishna is telling Arjuna, you fight, but you fight keeping me in center for my pleasure. So the real duty, surrender to Krishna. Our surrender to Krishna begins by chanting Hare Krishna. So for this purpose, one must first be liberated from material bondage and especially from household life. Household life is actually a kind of license for a materially attached person by which to enjoy sense gratification under regulative principles. Otherwise, there's no need of entering household life. So the Vedic society was designed in such a way that brahmachari, vanaprasth, and sannyas, their sense gratification is very, very limited in the sense they all the time are fully focused to engage in spiritual activities, brahmachari, vanaprasth, and sannyas. And only in grahast life was given the sanction to enjoy. So then one may say, oh, I'm already in household life. What shall I do? Oh, we continue. We can't be irresponsible. But we can uh, not be so attached, not be so engrossed, Try to take up more of hearing, chanting, more of Krishna consciousness activities. Before entering household life, one should be trained as a brahmachari living under the care of the guru, whose place is known as Gurukul. Brahmachari Gurukule Vasan, Danto Gurur Hitam, Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 12, Text 1. From the very beginning, a brahmachari is trained to sacrifice everything for the benefit of the guru. So this training is given because suddenly if somebody is very old, never done it before, one will say, hey, why should I do it? I survived so long without doing it. What's the need for me to do it? So from the beginning, the training was given. A brahmachari is advised to go begging alms door to door, addressing all women as mother, and whatever he collects goes to the benefit of the guru. In this way, he learns how to control his senses and sacrifice everything for the guru. When he is fully trained, if he likes, he is allowed to marry. Thus, he is not an ordinary grahast who has learned only how to satisfy his senses. So he's taught properly to do the duties at every stage of life. He was taught, okay, how to do duty of brahmachari, grahast, vanaprasth, and sannyas. A trained grahast can gradually give up household life and go to the forest to become increasingly enlightened in spiritual life and at last take sannyas. Prahlāda Mahārāja explained to his father that to be freed from all material anxieties, one should go to the forest. Hitvatma patam graham andakupam. One should give up his household, which is a place for going further and further down into the darkest regions of material existence. The first advice, therefore, is that one must give up household life, graham andakupam. However, if one prefers to remain in the dark well of household life, because of uncontrolled senses, he becomes increasingly entangled by ropes of affection for his wife, children, servants, house, money, and so on. Such a person cannot attain liberation from material bondage. Therefore, children should be taught from the very beginning of life to be first-class brahmacharis. Then it will be possible for them to give up household life in the future. So one may be in a retired age, kind of. One's responsibilities are over. Right now, we can't go to the forest. Prabhupada recommends, if possible, can go to the dham, live in the dham. Or if not possible, live in the house wherever we are. We stay there and we engage in hearing and chanting. This is what Lord Chaitanya said. Stay wherever you are. Just you continue to engage hearing and chanting, and wherever you go, you speak about Krishna. Tell people about Krishna. So then we may feel, oh, well, but people are not willing to hear. So we can give books. We can give out books to people. Books is a good way. Then someone will say, well, who reads books nowadays? But still, someone or the other will pick up the book to read. Maybe not the person we've given it to, but somebody else. It will pass around, and somebody will read the book. And in this way, we can give Krishna consciousness to others, giving out the books. So to return home back to Godhead, one must be completely free from material attachment. Therefore, Bhakti Yoga means Vairagya Vidya, the art that can help one develop a distaste for material enjoyment. Distaste for material enjoyment. The art that can help one develop a distaste for material enjoyment. Somebody will say, what do you mean? My life is to enjoy. What do you mean distaste for material enjoyment? But that's what we have to do, because otherwise Prahlāda Mahārāja says we are chewing the chewed, we are thinking there's enjoyment, but actually there's nothing there. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayad Ahaitukam. By rendering devotional service under the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 7. So we may not be detached, we may be very attached. But we just continue to hear and chant. Continue to hear and chant. And then it will come. Everything will come. The knowledge will come and the detachment will come. If one engages in devotional service from the beginning of life, he easily attains Vairagya Vidya or Asakti, detachment, and becomes Jitendriya, the controller of his senses. One who perfectly engages in devotional service is therefore called Goswami or Swami, master of the senses. Unless one is master of the senses, he should not accept the renounced order of life, sannyas. A strong inclination for sense enjoyment is the cause of the material body. Without full knowledge, one cannot be unattached to material enjoyment. But as long as one is not in that position, one is not fit to return home back to Godhead. So what to do? We have this material body because we want to enjoy. That's why we are in this material body. Prabhupada is saying also, strong inclination for sense enjoyment is cause of material body. Now we cannot even give up this material enjoyment because we are thinking that we are the body. So we need to get the knowledge. Then how we'll get the knowledge? By hearing and chanting. But then we don't have full knowledge. We may not get full knowledge. We may have to a certain degree, but here is saying full knowledge. And one is not fit to return home back to Godhead, but we want to go back to Godhead. Then what do? We continue to hear and chant. We plead to Krishna. Take shelter of Srila Prabhupada and say, please bring me back to Godhead, please accept me as I am. And of course, we try our sincere best. But yeah. Comments? Questions? No, I can't hear actually.
Good.
I'm not sure if somebody was speaking.
All good, all good.
All good. Okay. I thought I put everyone to sleep. I couldn't hear anyone. Only my voice.
No, this is so good. I mean, it's
Yeah,
all
we're just
about,
thinking about it. That's
Yeah,
how
that's
deep
what Prahlāda Mahārāja is saying.
Such a small boy, he was, and how he had so much of right knowledge.
I know,
and
right?
and he's the right
Yeah.
example of what Prabhupada is saying, that spiritual education at a tender age is very important. So one knows, how to live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah. Konva artha trishnam visrajet.
Artha Trishna Vishruje.
Krishna
Pranebhyo piya ipsita.
Pranebhyo apiya ipsitaha.
Yam krinati asubhi preshtes.
Yam
Krinati asubi preshte.
Taskara sevako vane. Money is so dear that one conceives of money as being sweeter than honey. Oh, this is where it's coming from. Therefore, who can give up the desire to accumulate money, especially in household life? Thieves, professional servants, soldiers, and merchants try to acquire money, even by risking their very dear lives. How money can be dearer than life is indicated in this verse. Thieves may enter the house of a rich man to steal money at the risk of their lives. Because of trespassing, they may be killed by guns or attacked by watchdogs. But still, they try to commit burglary. Why do they risk their lives? Only to get some money. Similarly, a professional soldier is recruited into the army and he accepts such service with the risk of dying on the battlefield only for the sake of money. Here, Prabhupada is saying professional soldier who's there only for the money, not for someone who's really patriotic. So in the same way, merchants go from one country to another on boats at the risk of their lives, or they dive into the water of the sea to collect pearls and valuable gems. Thus, it is practically proved, and everyone will admit, that money is sweeter than honey. One may risk everything to acquire money, and this is especially true of rich men who are too attached to household life. Formerly, of course, the members of the higher caste, the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, everyone but the Shudras, were trained in the Gurukul to adhere to a life of renunciation and sense control by practicing brahmacharya and mystic yoga. Then they were allowed to enter household life. So Prabhupada is explaining, here Prahlāda Mahārāja is saying money is sweeter than honey. You know, it's true. Sometimes people take really risky things for money. Sometimes we may undertake so many risky endeavors. So, but Prabhupada is saying initially, the Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, they were trained in Gurukul, as we were hearing in the previous verse also, that how to live the life. They were allowed to enter household life. First control the senses, then enter. There have consequently been many instances in which great kings and emperors have given up household life. Although they were extremely opulent and were the masters of kingdoms, they could give up all their possessions because they were trained early as brahmacharis. So you remember any kings, emperors we heard about who gave up their kingdom?
Bharat Maharaj.
Yes, that's right, Bharat Maharaj. Yeah. Also Parikshit Maharaj. Of course, he got the curse and then he gave up, but he didn't say, I'm going to die in the house. Yeah, Bharat Maharaj. Okay, Prahlāda Maharaj's advice is therefore very appropriate. Kaumara acharit pragyo dharman bhagavatan iha durlabham anusham janma tadapi adhruvam arthadam. One who is sufficiently intelligent should use the human form of body from the very beginning of life, in other words, from the tender age of childhood, to practice the activities of devotional service, giving up all other engagements. The human body is most rarely achieved, and although temporary like other bodies, it is meaningful because in human life one can perform devotional service. So, how are the few ways we can think that the human body is designed to engage in devotional service?
we can, by our mouth, we can chant.
Yeah, we have a suitable mouth to be able to chant Hare Krishna. Yes. What else?
With the ears, we can hear.
Yeah, that's right.
Then with the hands, we can clap and cook. We can do the clap and cook with the hands and offer it to Krishna.
Yeah, that's right.
Clean the temple with the hands, and then by the eyes, we can take the beautiful darshan of the deities.
Yeah,
By the nose, we can hear the flowers offered at the lotus feet of Krishna.
smell the, yeah, with the nose we can smell.
And by the feet, we can go and visit the temples and the dham and do parikrama.
Yeah, that's right. And we have sufficient intelligence. We have
Buddhi.
intelligence. We have the right intelligence in this human life to understand, oh, I'm not the body, I'm the soul, part and parcel of Krishna. And we have a mind with which we can think about Krishna. Right?
For him. Yeah.
So this is how the body is suitable. So even a slight amount of sincere devotional service can give one complete perfection. Human society should take advantage of this instruction. So actually all the problems can be solved if we can again bring God consciousness into society. From the very beginning, get this training. Okay. Katham priyaya anukam pitaya
Katham
Anukampitaya
sangam rahasyam ruchiram mantran.
Sangam
Surit sutat snehashita shishunam kalaksharanam anurakta chittaha. Putran smaramsta duhrite hridaya.
Putran
Pratran swarsarva pitaro chadino. Grahan manogno ruparichadamscha.
Grahan
Ritrish chakulya pashubritya vargan.
Vritya
Tyajeta koshashkrit ive hamana.
Tyaje
Karmani lobhat avitripta kama.
Karma
Upastya jevam bahumanyamana. Katham virajeta durantamoha.
Katham
How can a person who's most affectionate to his family, the core of his heart, being always filled with their pictures, give up their association, specifically a wife a wife is always very kind and sympathetic and always pleases her husband in a solitary place. Who could give up the association of such a dear and affectionate wife? Small children talk in broken language, very pleasing to hear, and their affectionate father always thinks of their sweet words. How could he give up their association? One's elderly parents and one's sons and daughters are also very dear. A daughter especially dear to her father, and while living at her husband's house, she is always in his mind. Who could give up that association? Aside from this, in household affairs, there are many decorated items of household furniture, and there are also animals and servants. Who could give up such comforts? The attached householder is like a silkworm, which weaves a cocoon in which it becomes imprisoned, unable to get out, simply for the satisfaction of two important senses, the genitals and the tongue. One is bound by material conditions. How can one escape? So that's how we are. We are in this conditioned world, in this conditioned life. In household affairs, the first attraction is the beautiful and pleasing wife, who increases household attraction more and more. One enjoys his wife with two prominent sense organs, namely the tongue and the genitals. The wife speaks very sweetly. This is certainly an attraction. Then she prepares very palatable foods to satisfy the tongue. And when the tongue is satisfied, one gains strength in the other sense organs, especially the genitals. Thus, the wife gives pleasure in sexual intercourse. Household life means sex life. Yan metonadi grahamedi sukham hitucham. This is encouraged by the tongue. Then there are children. A baby gives pleasure by speaking sweet words and broken language. And when the sons and daughters are grown up, one becomes involved in their education and marriage. Then there are one's own father and mother to be taken care of. And one also becomes concerned with the social atmosphere and with pleasing his brothers and sisters. A man becomes increasingly entangled in household affairs, so much so that leaving them becomes almost impossible. Thus, the household becomes graham andakupam, a dark well into which the man has fallen. For such a man to get out is extremely difficult unless he is helped by a strong person, the spiritual master who helps the fallen person with the strong rope of spiritual instructions. A fallen person should take advantage of this rope, and then the spiritual master or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, will take him out of the dark well. So Prahlāda Maharaj is putting the questions, how can one leave such a situation which we create for our own self? We are like a silkworm create now inside the cocoon. We built this whole cocoon and we are inside it, entangled completely, don't know how to get out of it. And Prabhupada is replying, how one can get out. You know, when we are already bound, how can we free our own self? Cannot happen by our own self. Or we are fallen into the well. Well is so deep, so dark, can't come out by our own self. What do we need? We need help from another. And that person who can help us is the spiritual master. And what's the rope? What's the rope?
Spiritual instruction.
Yes, spiritual instructions. So they are giving us the rope. The spiritual master, Krishna, they're giving us the rope. Now, if we don't take the rope, and then we keep saying, oh, Krishna, you're not helping me. Krishna, you give me your mercy. Spiritual master, you're not helping me, give me mercy. But their mercy is the instructions, spiritual instructions. And what we have to do is we have to follow them. But we, instead of following them, we make excuses for ourselves. Oh, I can't do it because I'm this, and I can't do it. I'm talking about myself, no one else. Here I'm just talking about myself. And then we just make excuses, although we know what we have to do. And then what to do? So we have to follow the instructions. So the more we hear, the more we chant, the more we will get the strength to follow the instructions. Because we don't even have the strength to follow the instructions. It's so fallen. Here I said, right, fallen person, but so fallen that don't even know how to follow the instructions. We can pray, pray, and pray, and continue to hear and continue to chant. Is that okay?
Yes.
Kutumba poshaya viyanijayur
Poshaya viyanijayur
nabadhyatera tambihatam pramatta
Nabodhyate
sarvatra tapatrayadukhitatma nirvidyatena swakutumbarama. One who is too attached cannot understand that he is wasting his valuable life for the maintenance of his family. He also fails to understand that the purpose of human life, a life suitable for realization of the absolute truth, is being imperceptibly spoiled. However, he is very cleverly attentive to seeing that not a single farthing is lost by mismanagement. Thus, although an attached person in material existence always suffers from threefold miseries, he does not develop a distaste for the way of material existence. So true what Prahlāda Mahārāja is saying, A foolish man does not understand the values of human life, nor does he understand how he is wasting his valuable life simply for the maintenance of his family members. He is expert in calculating the loss of pounds, shillings, and pence, but he is so foolish that he does not know how much money he is losing, even according to material considerations. Chanakya Pandit gives the example that a moment of life cannot be purchased in exchange for millions of dollars. A foolish person, however, wastes such a valuable life without knowing how much he is losing, even according to the monetary calculations. So Prahlāda Maharaj is saying here that we don't even understand how much we are losing. Actually, Chanakya Pandit is saying one moment we cannot buy, no matter how much money we give. So one moment is so valuable. And here we are wasting our full life. So us like losing so much, can't even understand how much we are losing. Although a materialistic person is expert in calculating costs and doing business, he does not realize that he is misusing his costly life for want of knowledge. Even though such a materialistic person is always suffering threefold miseries, he is not intelligent enough to seize his materialistic way of life. So we suffer, but we are so engrossed in this material thing that we have created for ourselves, the material situation, that we think, okay, it's okay, and just being engrossed in it instead of saying, okay, let me think how to get out of it. Vitteshu nityabhiniveshta-cheta vidvamscha dosham paravittahartu. Pretyeha vathapi ajitendriyastat Ashanta kamo harate kutumbi.
Ashan
Ashantakam
Kamo Harate
Kutumbi.
If a person too attached to the duties of family maintenance is unable to control his senses, the core of his heart is immersed in how to accumulate money. Although he knows that one who takes the wealth of others will be punished by the law of the government and by the laws of Yamraj after death, he continues cheating others to acquire money. Especially in these days, people do not believe in a next life or in the court of Yamraj and the various punishments of the sinful. It's true, no? Most people don't even know that we are going to have another life. Many people think that this life is, that's what it is, you know? There's no other life. And sometimes I feel we may know it theoretically, but we act in a way without thinking, without actually understanding it. We may theoretically say, yes, yes, I know I'm the soul. I know I have to live another life then. But sometimes the activities we do and the way we live, we are not thinking what consequences they're going to be. And I'm not sure if you can. Okay, anyways. So, but at least one should know that one who cheats others to acquire money will be punished by the laws of the government. Nonetheless, people do not care about the laws of this life or those governing the next. Despite whatever knowledge one has, one cannot stop his sinful activities if he is unable to control his senses. So here Prahlāda Maharaj is not saying don't do duty. He's saying one who is too attached to the duty of family maintenance. Because we may take it wrongly. We may say, oh, I need to renounce everything. But here Prahlāda Maharaj is saying, don't get too involved in it. Try to understand what is what. Like for this attachment thing, one man, he went to the guru and said, oh, my family, they are not leaving me. I want to take up spiritual life, but nobody is leaving me. My family, my business, my friends, nobody is leaving me. They're not letting me engage in spiritual life. So the guru told him, okay, you come tomorrow. And then the next morning, when he came, he saw the guru was holding onto a tree and saying, let me go, why aren't you letting me go? Was shouting on the top of his voice, why aren't you letting me go? What are you doing to me? I want to go. So the man asked, hey, Guruji, what's wrong? What happened to you? Why are you saying, let me go? You are holding on to the tree, no? It's not the tree is holding on to you. And the Guru said, exactly. So I feel we are like that we are holding on to the things and we feel the things are not letting us go. We don't even understand how this dynamic works, it's so into it. Just as Prahlāda Maharaj is saying, like a cocoon we built for ourselves, so entangled. And then we are thinking, oh, these things are not letting me go, whereas we are holding on to them. So, but then again, artificial renunciation is not going to help, and acting irresponsibly is not going to help. So what we can do is continue to hear and chant and hear and chant and pray for the intelligence. Here Prabhupada is keeping on using the word intelligence in these few purports we just read. So we can pray to Krishna to give us the intelligence of how to come to him. Anyway, Krishna also says, those who are constantly engaged to serving me with love, I give the intelligence by which they can come to me. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? To those who are constantly engaged in serving me with love. So what is that service? One who's continuously engaged in hearing, chanting, worshipping. But then he uses the word constantly. So we may not be able to constantly do it, but we do it as much as we can and we practice. and we practice and we practice. Is that okay? Comments, questions?
Yes. So like how beautifully they have given the importance of so many things, of the Prahlāda Maharaj is giving the deeper and deeper. Like how you mentioned in the end that we keep on praying. So how important that limb is, pray. And then you
Yeah.
get the intelligence and detachment, vairagya and buddhi. You get knowledge and detachment by praying. It comes if you remember, pray.
Yeah.
So it is so important. But then this is again so like the part of the grahastha life that we should give is 50. And in today's Kali Yuga, when we are 50, there is nothing is done in life. Your kids are also dependent on you. And it is not like previous ages that, like you had on time marriages, and then the kids were. So there is attachment. I agree. There is too much attachment. Even when 50 people have so many expectations and so much
The
for everything.
responsibilities are
Yes.
not yet done. It's
Yeah,
true. I agree.
at
When we are
50,
50, we still have so many. So that's why we have to, of course, wait, pray to
yes,
Krishna. We
yes.
we can't be irresponsible. Krishna himself is saying, don't be irresponsible.
Mm.
So
And to
we can't be
control our
irresponsible,
senses,
but control our senses.
Mm.
which is also hard, many times. Not
Yeah,
easy.
so
Because
difficult. Yeah, it's
because
so
and
difficult.
then people also always it looks that like how I remember Snehaji saying once that when we do all this, and even at the age of 50, if you are doing it, people are not ready to accept it. They say, oh, to
Yeah,
pagal ho gaya hai. Even at the age
yeah,
of 55 also people are not ready to accept. They say
Yes.
pagal ho gaya और कुछ काम ही नहीं है. But then
Ah,
even at the age of 55, people are not ready to accept if we do this. But if we go and
yeah,
party, then they are okay with it. They say ठीक है, इंसान है ये. Imagine.
yeah,
no,
it's
but they'll
true.
tell you
That's
also, yeah, this one is a party animal. She likes to party. तो क्या करे, what do you
you
do?
mean both the ways, huh? You mean to
Both,
say
both
ऐसा
ways,
करो तो
you are
also
like, हाँ, उसको बहुत शौक है, उसको पार्टी में जाना है.
No, but then I think then that is the right path, that we should hide our sadhana.
yeah,
We
Hide,
should,
yeah.
we don't have
yeah,
to
we should hide our
yeah, we
sadhana.
don't
We should
have to
not,
advertise
yeah,
it. Yeah,
like not even let anybody know our routine or anything. There's no need. Just do
yeah,
it, and just it's between you and Krishna, so that at least it is
you can
it is
peacefully do
yeah,
it, right?
peacefully do it, and there is no commenting on you what she's doing and what not.
It's
And
true, I agree, because before I had to hear so much from my parents. I stopped telling them
mm,
anything. I was like, better keep my mouth shut.
yeah,
So
and then
you're
there is
intelligent. Uh,
sorry.
I'm sorry, and then what?
And then there is that proper time when people around you, your immediate family, starts accepting it, and they
Yeah,
like it. And then they become part of that journey of yours. And
yeah,
they willingly become part, not that you're forcefully or anything, but they like it and they willingly become part of that journey of yours. Because I
yeah.
remember my sister, just year and a half back, she started going to Gopinathji, and she is still 41. So she's not that old. She's very young. So she started going, and she's going to Mangla at 4:30 a.m. in the morning, and she's doing a lot of seva at Gopinathji in Jaipur, and she's doing she's doing any kind of seva as possible, and she tried to indulge our family also. So in the beginning, everybody was like, Pinky, tum theek ho na? कुछ हुआ तो नहीं है ना तुम्हें, मतलब ऐसे ठीक हो ना तुम? So, everybody was like that. But then I told her, keep doing it. Doesn't matter. It's for you, right? And then she kept on doing and doing and doing. And now people around her know, कि, अच्छा, अरे, let her go. Party में से उसको बोलते हैं, इसको जाने दो, इसे कल जल्दी काम है. So like everybody is helping her with the grace of God. कि वो सब उसको help करते हैं. ऐसा नहीं है कि they try to embarrass her or do anything, but they help her more. And if somebody like offers a drink, तो सारे relatives पास में जो जितने भी cousins आके बोलते हैं इसको नहीं देगा कोई भी, don't bother her. So like they start caring because they know. So she has willingly they are doing it now. पहले उसको forcefully करना पड़ता था. So now willingly everybody is coming forward to help her, and it's a good thing. I think that this is how things change around you, but it takes time.
Very good.
It takes time.
Yeah. Very
It
good.
takes
So
time.
you gave her good encouragement. It's good you encouraged her. Very
I
good.
just did what you gave me. I just gave what you gave me, and it's all up to her now. She's doing it with the grace of everybody. So yeah,
So
she's
good.
doing. That's what she's doing very well.
Oh, so good. So nice. Wonderful. Thanks for sharing, huh? Nice.
Yeah, this is
Nice
like
to hear
practically
such
I feel that it takes time, but then people around you start looking at you in that way.
Start
They make fun.
accepting.
They still make
Yeah.
fun sometimes when it is up to when they all gather and when they want to make fun, they make fun also. But they support also.
Support, and I think
Good.
they still start accepting, na?
Yes, yes, yes. They start accepting it. That she's like this. And now, just be with her in that way. So they come forward for the seva also. Like whenever she's asking them to come for the darshan, they come. Whenever there's birthday, they have birthdays. They also want to do the same thing what she's doing now. That on the birthdays, they want to go to temple and do the poshak seva or do the, any kind of seva.
So good. Very
So
good.
I think that's helping her a lot in her journey.
Very good. Yeah, and she's helping them. Very good.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. She's helping them by engaging them in service. So, very good.
And let me tell you, frankly speaking, or this is the magical, or what she think is that since the Bhagavatam set has come in her life, it's the magic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Wow, very good.
because 1.5 year back she bought, like I ordered and she paid and she did everything on her own. But then the Bhagavatam set came into her life 1.5 years back. When I got it, I asked her, "You get it? I don't know how. You just order and you get."
Wonderful.
And it came
Yeah.
into her life, and since then things have really changed for her in a positive way.
Your younger sister.
Yeah, my younger sister. Yeah.
So good. Yeah, very encouraging to hear the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
So good.
Because whenever we sit, and I feel so happy sometimes that whenever we sit, we can talk at that point now in life. We can discuss the story. She tell me hers, and I tell her mine, and we can talk about it for hours because we have so much. And the most beautiful part was that she also keep bhajans at her house. Now, after looking at the Damodar Puja in Taiwan, so now she likes to keep bhajans at her house, and she knows the importance of dancing. So at my mom's house when we went, she just said that let's do it here one day. So we did it, and we just put on the bhajans and we danced in front of the deities. And my brother's daughter was also, like how the girls like it. So she also danced with. So all three of us were dancing and singing and enjoying. So yes, that makes a lot of difference in your life. You don't want anything else. Like you're so content and happy.
Good.
So I saw that change. Yes, it has the power. Like the buddhi and vairagya comes If you pray, it does come. You get that. Yes, no doubt.
Krishna will
So
help
good.
you, no? When
Yes,
you just
Krishna does help. Krishna does help. In every possible way, he helps you.
Yeah, Krishna, he's doing a lot, you know. He is helping. He helps a lot.
So her husband and kids and all will never accept it, right?
Actually, the husband part is little tricky because they're not living together, but the kids are involved too much also.
Mm.
The kids are involved too much. They also go for Mangla, and especially the daughter. She is 19 and she's also involved a lot. And the son also. They like it.
Mangla means in the morning, huh?
Yeah, like the fourth
Mangal Aarti.
devotion. Yeah, the Mangalarti or Govindeji, or they go to Gopinathji.
Mm.
So
She
both the
lives
places.
there in Jaipur, huh?
Yeah, Jaipur. Yeah. So yes, she's blessed, I think, that in a proper way. She's like how we say, no, that you have your best friend,
Yes.
how you have your Parampita, like anything you call him, anything you have your Radha, Srimati Radha Rani as your mother, then your father, and as your anything. And then she loses her cool sometimes, right? When things go wrong in her life. Then I told her that no matter what, even if it goes wrong, then you just have to tell him what you're telling me. Tell him. Go to him and tell him that I cannot take it. Please help me. Rather than blaming, you just talk to him like how you would tell me that I can't take it anymore. Please help me. So tell him that you can't take it anymore. And he will help you.
Yeah, that's very good advice. That's good. Very good.
Because like how Prahlāda Maharaj also said, miseries will come. Nobody can help. It does come like happiness comes. So rather than losing your cool and doing things which are not to be done, we should just pray to Krishna because only he can do anything. No one else can help you. Nobody. Only he can help you.
Yeah.
So,
True.
like, I see her as a practical example, like how the Grahastha, she was involved too much, and now, yes, she has a lot of duties because she's a single mother, so she has every responsibility financially and with the grace of God, she's doing it very well. It's very difficult in today's world, but she's handling it very gracefully and very nicely. And
And its children are supportive.
yeah, children are very, very supportive.
So then that also
Yeah. So I think that
helps.
that is only because of Krishna's blessings, only because of that Bhagavatam set that came in her life and how things have changed for her.
Wonderful. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you so
Krishna.
much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.